everyone.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Welcome to Bitch Sesh.
I'm Danielle Schneider.
I'm Casey Wilson.
Sorry if we sound so groggy. It's
so
like,
sultry.
I know. It's really like I'm really in my full voice this morning. My real Lauren Bacall going on here, but like not,
Guys, we're recording quite early because Danielle and I had a thing that just all the young kids were doing last night.
all the elders, really. It was us and a bunch of like my parents' friends.
Waspy elders.
Yes.
We took ourselves over to Royce Hall, UCLA, and to see David Sedaris speak last night. And it was
amazing.
It was so good.
I think he's touring right now nationally. If you can get yourself a ticket, which I think you can.
He was not wearing weird caftans or singing or dancing like at our tour shows.
But he was wearing it looked like sort of a zoot suit or something.
He had kind of picked up a Brian Moylan vibe.
Yes, he did. And he literally had to tell us he wasn't in pajamas, which anyone who has to explain, I'm not in a pajama, I'm interested.
And right when we got there, Danielle had eagle-eyed spotting of a big celeb sitting 2 rows, and I have to say it, behind us.
Yes, I was like, Casey, we've really arrived.
Danielle, who's behind us?
Miss Diane Keaton.
I know. And so now you understand the crowd that was there. But I really felt I am in an auditorium with David Sedaris and Diane Keaton. If someone explodes this place, I'll get no mention. But more than that, I feel I can die here.
Yeah.
I'm at peace.
But you're dying amongst your own.
Yes.
Is really what we are. It's like, I'm happy to go down with this ship.
100%.
And she was in full Diane Keaton.
She did not disappoint.
She was in a wide brimmed hat, like a jacket, with a big leather belt around the jacket.
Yes. And then I believe a leather pencil skirt.
Yes. And gloved.
Of course.
She was, just, we got the full Diane.
She was giving it. She wasn't well, today I'm in sweats.
Yeah, it wasn't I just want to fit in here and no one will notice. I would have noticed her in a stadium.
Yeah, I saw 30 people in our row stretching to look at her and just being Diane's back there.
But and in a crowd of women that looked like Diane Keaton, she was still standing.
Yes, she still kicked it up another notch.
In a crowd of Diane Keaton,
yes.
She rose, and that was fun to watch.
Well, I cried my eyes out at David Sedaris's. He read a piece that he wrote in the New Yorker 2 weeks ago, and we don't normally traverse in this type of highbrow fare.
No, we're a Daily Mail, if anything.
But it was so beautiful to hear.
Were you in a
read
dentist office? How did you get your eyes on that?
My therapist had mentioned it to me.
Yeah, okay.
And, it was definitely reading it with the address cut out. But it's a beautiful piece about his mom and her alcoholism, actually. But it is so charitable and gorgeous and compassionate. It's unbelievable. Yeah. We were bawling our eyes out.
Oh, yeah. I was, I cry at the drop of a celebrity name. But I cried, as I did at Wonder Woman this week, which I did finally see everybody. It all worked out.
That's what I said. I said, look, everything works out the way it's meant to. Though I did not invite you. When God closes,
twice you did
when
not invite me.
God closes 2 doors, he opens a mailbox flap.
An afternoon. My husband and I went together. He loved it. I loved it.
Wanted.
Yeah, you just wanted us to have a romantic afternoon in North Hollywood.
And it sounds like you did.
We really did. I got myself for lunch, but my husband, I was like, I'm going to get a hot dog. And he looked at me as if I had told him I was eating off the floor. Oh, that's another thing I did this week. I enjoy eating off the floor, and I'm just going to put that out there because sometimes I don't a garbage can feels too far away.
Yeah.
When you've dropped something on the phone, you're like, well, I'm the garbage can. I just put it in my mouth.
Sort of.
This is where I live.
I struggle with basic hygiene, but this even seems far.
I would sooner put it. I would sooner put it in my mouth than a garbage can if a garbage can is too far.
Sure.
So I'm constantly eating off the floor. So a few days ago, I had a thing of Gardettos. Do you know what Gardettos are? It's like the chip of a writer's room.
Okay.
Which is just it's a mixed, it's mixed in spices, like a little rye cracker. And,
I don't think I like those. Yeah.
No, they're my favorite treat. And so I had saved them from a writer's room probably weeks earlier and put them in my purse just to snack on.
You are my grandmother. And even she was not as cheap.
I am so cheap. Savoring my Gardettos. I don't know where to find them except for in a writer's room. I don't know that you can find them in a store. And so and then I accidentally spilled some out in my bedroom and cleaned them up. But then like days later, I was finding Gardennos on the floor and just putting them in my mouth.
Oh God, Danielle.
I know. And so yesterday I was like, oh, Gardennos on the floor.
You were excited.
So, yeah, I was like, ooh, a Gardetto. And so I picked them up, and as I am putting it in my mouth, I see it's a bug. Like I was
Ew. That is disgusting, Danielle.
I'm not proud of it, Casey.
Wow.
It's where I'm at. It's where I live right now. So
Wow.
I don't know how we got onto that, but I was speaking, I think, of who I am.
Yeah.
So that was my week.
You're just like Wonder Woman.
Yeah, just like me and Gail Gadot.
Gal.
Gal?
I think it's Gal Gadot.
I think you're right.
Did you say Gail? I don't think that woman's name is Gail. All due respect to the Gales out there, the Gales I know.
I know many Gales, and you,
madam, are not one. Wonder Woman, like, Gail to the set. Get down here, Gail.
I was like, it's Gail Gadot.
Like, Gail, let's take that again. I think Gal.
Gal.
I prefer.
Gadot. Of course. Sorry. I apologize to Gal.
I will say, just a small plug for David Sedaris' Diaries, Theft by Finding. I read them. It's so great. And you can pick it up in like little snippets and put it down. It's so fascinating just hearing about his life.
He's a treasure.
He is a national treasure. No one makes me laugh harder.
He was on fire. Again, like, and I've been reading him for years and listening to his books on tape for years. If you can get to see him live, it's another level.
It was really special. Okay, so that was last night. And I'm looking at my guest. We have a guest at this early hour, which is 7 a.m. on a Thursday morning.
The fact that she just like helped, like came out here for us.
And brought a purple water bottle that says "My Nursing Coach," the mobile breastfeeding center on it. What? And I know where you got that from. A woman ready to be a Saturday Night Live character. We have a great guest, Danielle.
And she's a fan favorite too, so I'm excited.
And she's back for a second helping of style advice and British witticism.
Yes.
Please welcome Clare Mukherjee.
Hi.
Hello, ladies. Danielle, I'm joining you with the low voice in the morning.
It sounds sensuous with your British accent. It sounds just like I have vocal fry.
Clare, how are you?
I'm a bit sleepy, but I'm waking up.
Right off the bat, you hit us with a comparison.
Yeah.
Last night of a Tinsley Mortimer.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, because I knew I was coming here today, of course, I made some notes on my phone after a couple of glasses of rosé.
Hit us with that right away.
Dina Lohan, Tinsley. I was looking at Tinsley and I thought, gosh, she reminds me of somebody, you know, the puffy face, the sort of closed eyes, the sort of, I've lived a hard life. And it was Dina Lohan.
As Casey says, rode hard, put away wet.
Yeah. She just has that same, like, tough times face as Dina.
And you also zeroed in on the crinkle hair.
Yeah, crunchy crinkle hair. I have to say, Carol's advice about cutting off the hair was so good. What great advice. And Tinsley, you should do it. Carol's absolutely right. Tinsley needs a new, fresh look for her re-emergence into New York society. She's just
What you could do with her.
What you could do.
You could take her out for a day of styling. You could give her some edge.
You know, I would just get rid of the whole princess look.
Yeah.
Because she's 41. And it also, I agree with Carol. It's like streamline your look. If you're gonna come back and start over, make it all new.
But how could you streamline the shirt that she was wearing in the therapist's office with the Peter Pan collar and the lace frill roses?
Yeah.
How do you streamline that?
Do you know, she's stuck in that sort of when Gossip Girl started look.
Yes.
Because I think she was actually the inspiration for Gossip Girl.
Was she?
What?
Yes.
Did she see royalties on that shit? That would be buying her apartment. She wouldn't be living with Sonia.
Oh my God, no. If you Google that, like they say that her and her friends.
That is a Blair Waldorf look.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly. But that was what?
Blair would have
That was
been at a different
2009.
place. Blair would have not been here still. Blair would have
Well,
moved
exactly.
forward.
Blair would be
Dead.
No, Blair's in like Saint-Tropez or Nantucket.
Right.
Or
Gracefully aging.
gracefully aging with her children.
I've
She's
never seen
sober.
it.
You've never seen Gossip Girl?
Guys, I didn't go that way.
Actually,
I
you
went
probably would have
full
enjoyed
Gossip
it.
Girl for like 3 seasons.
Same.
And then I dropped
tailed
off.
Yeah, it got really repetitive.
Yeah, and then I was like not interested.
But yeah, Tinsley, I would strip it all back. Honestly, I'd probably style her very similarly to how Carol dresses, apart from the safari look from last night. And
In the Bronx, you mean?
yeah, that whole like we're in the Bronx thing. was
The
just
way
a
that they were
bit
treating it
wrong.
like a foreign country was embarrassing.
Like
for
it was a field trip.
everybody. Yeah,
Yeah, it was. It was
and
really
then they were the most
embarrassing.
embarrassing things in the Bronx.
Exactly.
I called that segment a Bronx Tale, and it was so upsetting.
Yeah, it really was. So yeah, Tinsley, let's strip it back. Let's put her in like the white pantsuit like Carol wears in her bit.
What would you do with her
bit.
hair?
Yeah. Would it be like textured bob?
Do you know, I think it would be very much like Carol's is at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of grazing the shoulder, darker.
Yes, that blonde, that Barbie blonde is.
But still, could she still be blonde?
Oh, she can still be blonde, but more of a like a Jennifer Aniston type blonde.
honey.
Yeah, a honey, a honey toffee caramel.
Yes. And what would we do about her brows? And again, this is like
All conjecture, as we're not going to do any of this.
and yeah, and I know I hope this doesn't sound mean. I don't know. All of a sudden I have a conscience of like in terms of like, but I just feel like we can do something with her look. Well, you know, like what are we doing with her brows?
We would absolutely thicken the brow. What we would do is probably get one of those. I love how I'm taking this so seriously. We would probably thicken it with those, you know, those new feathery tattoo eyebrow
what?
things. Yeah, you can thicken a brow. With
What?
these like, is it called microplaning or something?
Yes.
Or
I mean,
like,
honestly, I don't need it. I'm Abe Vigoda and no one's going to know that reference, but I have like a thick, like manly brow.
well, which is very chic, by the way.
But-
as do I.
I've always kept mine Brooke Shields thick, and I've never regretted it.
Yeah,
and I
same,
felt for
same.
the people that have plucked and stripped theirs away
Yeah.
because I didn't think there was anything you can
had
do
a
until now.
Yeah, which is this very expensive, very fine tattooing, which can very much look just like a real brow. So she should have that.
I had a drag queen friend in college that like I was that knew that brow look was it in the thin brown. I was like,
Yeah.
this is what I need to do because I have a
Drew
thicker
Barrymore.
brow.
Do you remember Drew Barrymore when she was
Yes,
like,
that's
the
what I
coolest?
wanted. That is
Yeah.
what I wanted. And my friend said, never do this. He was like, you're going to regret it the rest of your life.
Your drag
Do
queen
not-
friend.
Yes. She knew
Yeah.
that she had like a premonition that these
Did she
were
tell
going
you
to-
when she was in drag, or did she
No,
tell
she
you?
was out of drag, or
Okay,
he was out of
okay,
drag at the
okay,
time.
okay.
But
That's why you're bouncing between
yeah,
programs.
that's why I don't know
I was trying to
I don't know where to
rebel.
land right now because she was beautiful, but he was like, you know,
A
like,
great soothsayer, it sounds like.
yeah. I mean, an eyebrow soothsayer.
Now, April has cut her hair and dyed it darker.
Guys,
The dyeing I wasn't
loved
expecting.
it. Yeah.
What possessed you to do the dyeing?
Carol Radziwill did April's hair.
Wow.
Well,
No,
April
who's Carol?
April has longer curls, but they were nothing like
No, they were not Tinsley. They were
No.
they were that sort of like boho California thing. I mean, hopefully you've all seen April in our pictures and just on
and she's
on the
cut it
road.
and darkened it. I think the cut looks amazing.
Yeah.
I miss your blonde, I will say, but this
Oh,
looks
you do?
wonderful.
I like it a lot.
It's
But is
an-
it,
oh,
is
I
it
love it.
permanent, the brown, or is it going to fade?
It'll fade because I had the highlights.
Okay.
She had
I like the
highlights.
brow.
She look amazing, and you look
it.
very because she has her glasses on today. Very kind of like
Studious.
Yes,
Yeah,
studious.
bookish in a good way.
But she said she was inspired by Carol's wisdom to Tinsley.
Wow.
But April, you're so young and fresh.
Yeah, you don't need a new start. You
Yeah.
don't need a new look.
But it does say something that Tinsley, you know, at her age and like with everything that's gone on, is not willing to take that advice. And
Yeah.
April's like a young buck and still was like, what I don't want ever in 10 years
It's
is
to be a
that.
Tinsley.
Yeah, I honestly think that there's a reason why Tinsley has found herself where she is. She actually really fascinates me. I want her to come back. I want to see where she goes.
I don't
She's
know that
not
she
going
can go
anywhere.
anywhere.
Yeah, because she you think she's definitely coming back next year?
No. But you want to see her go nowhere?
No, I want her to come back next season.
I don't know that she has it in her to grow. And I think
that's the thing,
as a
isn't it?
housewife,
We won't see any
literally
change.
during her therapist scene last night, I was so bored. I started watching kangaroos playing patty cake on my phone.
Yeah.
I was
But guys,
just like,
why
I
isn't the
can't.
therapist an option? I thought he was quite handsome.
Cake.
Guys.
He's one of my people. He's one of my
No.
Indian people.
Oh, yes, he's Indian like you.
Yeah, yeah.
And gorgeous, I thought.
Really?
He did
Like, a
not
bit
do it
bold?
for me. He was not for me.
I'm just saying, look, Tinsley's looking under a rock. She's looking at weird options here.
This is true. This is true.
He seemed,
Wouldn't
she
it be
doesn't want a wasp. I couldn't believe the conversation. It was a little weird when,
when she was
Bethany
saying
was
that
like, would you date a Jew? And
Jewish.
she's like, I'm thinking about it, but like I don't know if I'm that hard up.
It was tough for me. I, as a Jewess, was quite just kind of like, all right, we don't have to be like. Now
Bethany's
I'm
like,
fine.
you date a Jew?
No, and I'm like, I know Bethany's not Jewish, but there is no one more Jewish than Bethany.
Bethany was.
No, she's like Italian. Maybe she has some blood
Franco?
in her. Italian? I think it's Italian.
Well,
her stepfather.
Before we went into the Bronx
Yeah,
Tale
yeah.
scene, Bethany was giving her old racetrack.
Ugh, if I have to hear that chestnut again about like I grew up at a racetrack, it's like
She's
know
like, so uncomfortable around everyone. It's like, no, you're just so
You're not comfortable around anyone is the truth.
much less yourself.
She really is an unlikable person, isn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, truly.
I mean, when you saw her like stomping around that cabin in those fluffy boots, and she's so thin, wearing that weird like skiing top, and the like dark lip, and and a severe hair. I'm just like, I would not want to be around you. I don't want to spend any time with you ever.
I know.
that I have the
think at
chance,
dinner I would rather be around. Now I hate Ramona, but I think I'd rather like have a glass of wine with her than Bethany.
100%.
100%.
100 trillion million %. I actually think Ramona, even though she's awful, would be great fun.
Can we discuss the outfits when they all went up to the Bronx to have some pizza at midday and pizza and red wine?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Before
And
Dorinda.
Dorinda was not only hungover, but full blown drunk.
What's going on with Dorinda? So
No, I know.
I don't know.
she
Who
says
is-
it's a problem, no?
She was being very loose, wasn't she, last night? And then do you remember that moment? I think, was that in the cabin when all the white stuff started spilling out of her mouth when she was eating? And did you remember that last night?
No, but I remember thinking like she showed up to the pizza place and was like, I'm so hungover. But then 2 seconds later was as drunk as I've
hammered.
ever seen
She was like,
her.
hair of the
Was that our
dog.
editors? Our friends, the editors?
No, I don't think they
No.
could possibly edit someone yelling clip.
Clap,
Clap,
clap, clap,
clap.
clap, clap. I was like, what? The problem with clip.
What
is that,
is
and
it?
the problem with Dorinda in general now is because she's going to make that into a T-shirt. Like I
I
hate
made
when
it nice.
the housewives become so self-aware.
I don't know,
Yeah.
Danielle. It was so strange. And the way she did the gesture that accompanied it, she looked like Kermit the Frog. And for anyone who's not watching, inexplicably, she was just yelling at Sonia, who kept talking, clip.
I missed
I think it was
that.
like, shut your mouth.
What? I missed that.
How could you have missed it? It was when she was going like this, clip.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm going to clip your mouth
is
shut,
that
I
what it
assume.
was?
Well, it was not. It was the wildest thing I've ever seen. So you probably just, your brain couldn't process.
Well, I might have been busy writing notes about something on my phone because I knew I was coming
Well,
today.
I'd love to just go through the outfits,
missed
Claire,
something.
because wowee wee wow.
Okay.
When we went into this restaurant, here's what I saw just like right off the bat.
Yeah.
We have Tinsley wearing a pink skirt, a little black cape, and her ringlets.
To wear to like high tea in the year 2000. Like it was.
She's like an old-fashioned dolly. You know those dollies that have like the
Yes.
little capes and the puffy skirts that
And like
your
their eyes
grandma
roll
might
back and
collect?
slowly
Yes.
open.
With the
Yes.
thin little eyebrows and the big eyelashes.
Yes.
She's like one of those little dollies. She really needs to grow up.
I've seen grandmothers sporting that look. If you think about it, have you ever seen like a very, very eccentric older
I mean,
woman?
like a Barbara Cartland type
Yes, and it's
or a Zsa Zsa Gabor.
yeah, and it's
It needs to change. It really does. I wish I could get my hands on it, but never mind.
and then what's happening with the furs this year and the fur vest?
There's so much coloured fur. There's so
Luann
much
is in a
fluff.
full fur. Bethany's in a shag carpet coat. Carol's in driving gloves with a full fur ball necklace. And then later we saw about 20 more furs. And I do realize we transitioned to Vermont, but what's happening with Bethany's look, with Luann's look?
I think it's the season because isn't it just post Christmas? Because Luann got married on New
Yeah.
Year's Eve, so I have to say I do reach for my faux fur around that time of year.
Is faux
So-
fur
But I've
okay?
never seen you in a vest.
We discussed faux fur last time.
I know, and
Do
you had told me
remember?
the flat. You said the flat leopard and not the puffy leather.
Yes,
Oh yes, I've taken it to heart. My puffy leather still. I mean, my puffy leopard still lays in my closet.
I have to say, yeah, no, the vests are a problem. The gilet, the fur gilet, I say a big no. That's a sign of a slightly older lady. Okay, only slightly older ladies wear a fur gilet, so let's all avoid the fur gilet. Because yeah,
Even when we
it's
are
very Dorinda, it's very Ramona. It's let's stay away from that.
Even when we are older women?
Yes.
And Bethany is in them as well often.
Yeah, I know. But money don't buy you class.
Wow,
yeah.
thank you.
Because even though she has a lot of money, she don't get it right. She really don't. Do you know what Bethany looks like? She looks like she's got a lot of money and she likes to go and flaunt her wealth at Barney's and Saks in New York and have everyone swirling around her, or she sends her assistant and they just come back with a bunch of really expensive shit. And she's like, okay, that. I feel like she's not actually, she doesn't have any style. She's just throwing a lot of money at what she wears.
Wow.
Sorry. Okay. I went off on one there.
Wow.
No, that's
Thank
important.
you.
I think everybody needed to know.
I don't think she has a good stylist.
Does she have a stylist?
I'm sure she does, but I bet it's like a personal shopper at one of the big department stores because she spends so much money at them.
And there's a difference.
Yeah, because they're working on commission. Oh. Okay.
That changes everything.
I mean, that lunch, Dorinda getting so drunk at one point yelling, I'm the hostess with the mostest, gesturing to her crotch. It was just...
That was obscene.
It was fun, though.
I would be so embarrassed. But obviously, if you look at her daughter, it's not a highly functional sort of family.
I know, but last night, Dorinda, I mean, so drunk at every event, then inexplicably shows up in Vermont for a weekend vacation with no bags.
Because she'd been getting hot.
She was like, I was fucking John and got distracted by fucking that hairy mess. Just picking pubes off of her, I assume. Got
I started
distracted.
visualizing things as well when she was talking about that. I was like,
I
went
bet their
upstairs.
sex is rough
Yeah.
Yeah.
and animal.
I bet it's drug fueled as well.
Yes.
I bet there are poppers. I bet there are instruments. Wow. Oh, God.
Well, and then
it's
next
getting
week
too
in the
real.
preview, we're treated to someone asking her how big John's dick is, and she's like pulling out a huge cucumber.
Zucchini.
It was just so. Whoa.
A butternut squash.
But then in the
I bet John is really doing something, though, guys. I bet he's up to stuff.
Oh, he's definitely up to stuff. He's, a man like that has to perform in other ways. You know what I mean? Like
His dry cleaning empire aside.
Yes, but he's always been a sweaty mess of a kind of like just a little like.
And can't you see him just being like,
weeble.
Dorinda, come up for 5 minutes?
Yeah. He has to make up for what he lacks in his couthness, and you know what I mean. Like he has to.
But it was a little window into them because I'm like,
Yeah, it
Dorinda
was.
did seem like genuinely like flushed with happiness after a tryst with a dry cleaner named John.
Who she's been with for 10 years.
Yes, by the way.
We've been for 10 years.
Or not, but like 6 or 7,
long
a
time.
while. They're not new.
Yeah, no, it's kind of inspiring, actually.
It is. And then for her to go out to her all white Range Rover and open up the trunk and she was like, I forgot my bags. I was like, what's happening?
No, I do think she is a user of substances.
Oh, for sure. You're not surprising anyone.
I think she might just be a little high.
Well, then the best, and I'm guilty of this too, but not at this hour. You know, I'll take a nap every day, and I'll often take a naked nap, much like Dorinda, which Andy Cohen turned me on to in his book in praise of Dorinda.
You take a naked nap. Should I be doing that?
I think there's nothing more decadent.
Really? I hate having things like hanging around.
Me too. Like
Yeah,
to
I like
have
to feel
my
contained.
I can be braless, but to have my vagina flapping in the wind.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not
I
saying
feel
this is every day, but occasionally the mood will strike.
Wow.
But when,
Even on a winter's morn? Like
yeah, if the heat's on, sure. But
By the way, you just glowed when you said that. You went,
you know, I'm a woman of like excess and comforts. So a naked nap, I don't think should surprise anyone. But when Luann was like, knock, knock, wakey, wakey, Dorinda, it's dinner. And Dorinda's like, I'm asleep. And it was 7 p.m. And I do love a nap, but it's tough to just sleep right up until dinner.
yeah, because
you know
then-
what? She was disco napping. She knew she was going all night long with that booze and that wine and that,
And
whatever
God bless her.
else.
She's giving a lot this season.
Oh, she does
I love
complete.
Dorinda.
She refreshed the whole show.
She really
because
did.
it could have gone to a place that we were bored. Because
Yeah.
Bethany wasn't going to do it. Bethany's not helping, but Dorinda has brought us to new heights.
Guys, Ramona's in her testimonial look with her maroon kind of rust color silk blouse that is buckling under the weight of those bosoms.
It's buckling and it's
And they are
gaping.
bosoms. They
It's
are
gaping,
bosoms.
it's buckling, it's heaving. It is. I have never seen an object so strained. I see tape under them that as though producers and people with mics have been like, we can't get it closed.
And I bet the sound people are like, it's gonna bust. We hear it. Like in the mics on our shirts, like, like when something's about to blow and everyone's got to run.
Mount Vesuvius.
Yes,
They're like, oh God,
exactly.
everybody
Like,
stand back.
There's tremors, and everybody on the sound crew is hearing those tremors.
Oh gosh, wow. So now we're in this log cabin house. Everyone is just so unbelievably rude. Luann's whole thing of like, guys, I have to say, I just got married. I can't believe you didn't give me my own bathroom.
You actually kidding me.
And she believes it.
She's on her like millionth marriage,
Yeah.
or at
and
least
her millionth celebration of this goddamn marriage and
Yeah.
this fake marriage on some level. Like
Yeah,
no
do you-
one's
okay.
celebrating it as if it's like a new chapter.
Is this the real deal? I mean, because I thought it was interesting what you said last week about how the episode with the wedding, they just touched on it so briefly.
Because it's not anything.
I think even Bravo was like, our title, we didn't get the real out of nowhere, guys.
Yeah.
They sat themselves down and they said, how much can we feature this?
Right.
because they know it's like.
But for her to use that as her, it would be one thing if
Yeah.
she was just like, guys, you left me the bad room, which even I have to say, and I have struggled with manners at points, but would you ever go to someone's house who is paying for you ostensibly to be there? Although I think what we're not hearing is because no one's paying and they're
Yes.
all doing a job, that's why they all feel so free to be like, where the fuck is my room?
Yes.
But you're also there for 2 nights and have your own room. Like, what do you need?
Well, I was
like,
thinking
what's
that. I was like, what's the big deal? Fair enough if you're there for a week, but if you're there for 1 or 2 nights, get over it.
And I was wondering, like, why are we featuring this chef so heavily? It was only for later for Luann to be like, I saw a chef in my shitter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like he was, someone was like wandering back
I
there.
have to say, I don't need to. People are using my bathroom day and night, but like, I don't need to see the person like that's shitting where I'm, eating
Eating.
my goddamn house off the floor. Like I hear like something about that, and believe me, I've lived, the house I just lived in had 1 bathroom for everyone for a very long time. So it is what it is. But like, I don't need to see like. I don't want to know who's shitting where I shit.
I agree, but at the same time, she was so convinced that she had been wronged, wasn't she? And it was like, oh, get over yourself.
Everyone was shocked.
And also, you were the last one to arrive, so sorry.
That's your problem.
You missed out.
And also, it's a gorgeous mansion. It's a gorgeous mansion, and you're complaining about your room. I'm just like,
you're only going to pass
And
out
Ramona's
now
so
after you've
disgusting.
drank.
She's like, I only ski in Aspen. The houses, the people, the parties, she's just so gross. And the best was when I forgot to mention when Dorinda, right before she realized she'd forgotten her luggage for a vacation, when she went outside, she just goes, hey, Carol, hey, Bethany. She's like, you guys want to drive back and spend one night in the Berkshires on the way home? And they're like,
Nobody bit.
They're like, bye. Here's someone calling me.
I know. No one even answered. Everyone was like, huh, like they just like.
Carol was like, Bryn.
Well, we reserve Bryn.
Yeah.
I will say that house in Vermont, though, as beautiful as it was, it felt so cold and lifeless to me.
Because
at
it was
the same
so
time.
big and open.
Yeah, like I just felt like
I didn't feel like I saw a lot of rugs.
no.
I just saw a lot of wood.
It felt like not. It just not that you. I just wanted to feel lived in. You want to feel like you're in like a cozy cottage or something.
But
and it just felt,
that's the house you get when like you don't want anyone to be disappointed that everyone has their own quarters, and these women were still bitching, and it's this palatial cabin.
Yeah.
I don't think Bethany, for all her, and she's really planning parties up a storm. We've got Vermont, then we're going off to make
Go to Mexico
tequila.
to the $10 million house in Mexico. She has to throw that out there.
There's something about her-
is
So
it
nouveau
her
riche.
house or no?
She's so nouveau riche.
There's something about her control of needing to throw these parties.
Oh, I know. And like, this one's going to be really fun.
Yeah,
I know you guys
And then
like
always like making fun of everyone else's parties.
Yeah, no, I really have a true and genuine loathing for Bethany Frankel. I just think she, I do have that thing. Like, does she really want to be there? Does she? Because she's so judgmental of the setups and the situations, but I'm like, you chose to be there. You're
I feel like at the
doing
end of this, when we get out of Vermont, she's going to turn to the camera and be like, Frederick and I will be flipping this log cabin next week.
Yeah.
Like she's always trying to promote that crossover.
Oh my God, why?
I just feel like I can feel her producing the show
Yes.
as she's
Yes.
going. And that is, it takes me out of it. I don't like
Danielle,
it.
I'm right there with you. I think she is too aware. It's like it's absolutely having one of the producers as part of the cast because she's just too darn savvy. But can I talk about how I really think that Tinsley really has a drinking problem?
Go ahead.
What was that whole because I felt like the show was really trying to pick up on her like filling up her drink. Like we kept on cutting to seeing her going back into the kitchen in the cabin and doing a little bit of vodka and a little bit of cranberry, and then she was like talking about how it was rosé. Did you pick up on that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't pick up on
I think
that
this was
at
coming
all.
off of her therapy session where they don't show him say, clearly you have a drinking problem. All they cut to her is her going, I really don't think I do. And it's very hard for me to talk about this. And she's like, I don't agree. So
Well,
basically.
it's been building up to that though, hasn't it? Like we've been exposed to hints that she might be knocking it back a bit. Like with saying that she needed a drink when she was with Dale at the open house. And you could just tell she was like, well, she has that puffy face look. But when
Yeah,
she
you can
said,
see it in her
when
face.
someone brings up, I don't think I have a drinking problem.
Well, and she said, this is really hard on me. I have been drinking. He said, he used a word I couldn't believe. It was a pretty tough word. He said, what did he say? Because she said, I have some wine to sleep because she's so haunted by these memories, which I do agree with the girls. It's a little bit like, okay, I'm sorry I'm jumping all over, but when they were kind of on her about like her living with Sonia and should she move, and Sonia's being so ridiculous, definitely making her feel so terribly.
Yeah, it was
just
awful.
kick her out or you need to move.
Or go. Like, why would you live someplace
Or
like that?
go. Like, I remember one time I stayed with Matt McConkey and our other friend for like a month. And at one point, our other friend was kind of like, when I tell you she showed me like a little bit like, I could just tell it was like wearing on her that I was staying. And I called my mom and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like she might want me to leave. Like, I'm thinking about leaving in a month. My mom goes, you should have been out 2 weeks ago when you feel
When you feel that
like
change.
you're 2 weeks to a month off. Like my mom's like, get your shit and get the fuck out of this house.
I'm always out the door, even before, like, I'm there for literally like a day and then I'm like, they need me gone. Like I always try and like, I've like got myself out of relationships where I've like been here too long. Like I literally like, I'm out the door before you even notice I'm there.
I
Like,
think
I'm
you and I are
so-
people pleasers.
Yes, I'm a pleaser in that way.
Tinsley, the problem that she can't scream from the rooftops is like, you guys wanted me to live with her for the show. So I feel for her. She's like,
my contract.
yeah, she's like beat down. Everyone's like, why don't you fucking leave? And she's like, ugh.
I have to say, I thought they came at her too hard. I actually
So
really
did
felt badly
Bethany.
for her.
I did too. I thought it was crazy.
I didn't. I feel like she needed that.
No, Danielle.
What? Danielle, I'm shocked.
I do. And again, I'm a people pleaser in every way, but I do feel like this girl is lost. She has nothing to hold on to, and she needs to get right.
Okay, but I felt like Bethany just has never liked her. She doesn't think
Yeah.
she's cool. She thinks she's kind of a loser. And so
She's
she
jealous.
took...
She's a bit jealous as well because Tinsley was an OG New York socialite. She really was a society
But I think
girl.
Bethany's allowed herself to push past jealousy and into like, and now I'm fucking making the money
Exactly,
and like,
yeah.
thinks she's so great. But I felt like she took that opportunity to attack her in a way that wasn't genuine. She just doesn't like her. But I will say what bothers me about Tinsley is literally people will be like, hey, how are you doing? And she's like, I'm trying to move past this, my arrest.
it's getting
like,
a bit self-indulgent.
she needs to move on.
And it happened a while ago, and no one died. You got arrested.
If I was arrested publicly and I was her, I would literally never move on. And I get it. But what I would, no, I wouldn't.
going there.
But what I
That
would
would be really tough to
try
have a
to
mugshot.
do is change up my tactics socially of how often I spoke about it.
Yeah. Oh,
but it would
yeah.
be burning in my heart and head every second of every moment.
but I would make a new life for myself. I would be out of New York City.
Same.
And I would
You wouldn't be
with a
on Real
new look.
Housewives?
not be on Real Housewives. I would like start over again somewhere
I would move
else.
to. I would move to Europe.
Yeah, or
I would marry a school teacher. I would do like something. Just get out of that world that you were in before. Absolutely.
start fresh.
Yeah, start
There's
fresh.
so many great towns. Go to Atlanta.
These are great ideas. Guys, I also thought it was really funny that throughout the whole episode of these women just like drunkenly yelling in their muted tones and gross colors, we kept cutting to the Beguiled.
Yes.
Promos for Sofia Coppola's The Beguiled with like Nicole Kidman and Kristen Dunst.
Desperate to see it. By the way.
All sitting around like a gauzy light streamed room in these old timey pastel colors, and they were like so dignified.
Yeah.
And I was just laughing. I was like, God, they know the audience is the same for both somehow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The cross promotion has been insane. Like all of the housewives on their Instagrams this week, it's like, if you think we're bad, watch Beguiled. Like it has been an interesting crossover because it is the same audience, and yet one feels more dignified, and the ones that feel more dignified are the ones like cutting off a man's leg. Like it is, which I think happens in that movie. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I got a hint of that from watching the trailer last night.
But the cross promotion has been intense.
What do you think of one quick style thing? Ramona's Hermes belt buckle.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But she's always hitching up like a.
She shows that off like it's the one nice thing she owns.
With
You
her,
know what I
like-
mean? She's always featuring it.
Because she likes a low slung jean, doesn't she?
Yes.
She likes a really. Do you remember when you were just really into the low slung jean with the top tucked in with a belt? That was around what 99, 2000. She's stuck in the past. She needs to move on.
At least she's feathered out her hair a little, which I feel like because she had that Tinsley corkscrew going for a while.
Oh, she mixes it up, Casey. You know,
Yeah,
she,
you're right.
she likes to experiment with the hairstyles. It's not like we're one or the other. We're
Right.
all of it.
Claire told me something on our way up your driveway, which was we were talking about Birkenstocks, and I was like, I want to do a Birkenstock, but sometimes like I feel like my feet look strange in them. And then I was like, and she was like, well, if you get the one strap Birkenstock, sorry, she's like, if you do the one strap Birkenstock, those are chic. And I was like, oh great, what about the one with the gold? And as I was saying gold,
Danielle.
looked at me with a look of disdain and disgust that I have only seen across like the face of my lover. You know what I mean? When like it didn't even finish coming out of my mouth before I stopped.
I think I went, no.
Yeah, and I was
What
like,
about the no?
Claire made me get a black T-strap, but I got the black patent leather ones. I don't know.
No, I said that was okay. I think we can basically go white or black.
She said white to me,
Birkenstock.
and so I'm going to be ordering those later today.
The T-strap, the thongy one is okay as
Everyone,
well.
T-strap, thongy, Birkenstock, and white.
But if you must have
I
a
think we're
comfortable
a little
shoe-
past though.
yeah, there's a new shoe. There's a new shoe.
We
in
do have a
town.
new shoe, and it's
ahead.
great. It's very overpriced for what it is, but it's
Okay.
incredibly comfortable, and it's like a streamlined Birkenstock. It's by Beatrice Valenzuela.
Go on, they're gonna love it.
I love the name.
And she's based actually out of Echo Park in Los Angeles, but I actually bought mine in Hawaii at this really cool surf shop. But they're just a really beautiful leather sandal, and they're just incredibly comfortable, but they're like $220. They're a bit much for what they are, but they're gorgeous.
Thank you for that public service.
Yeah,
Beatrice
everybody.
Valenzuela.
Again, it's a lot of money. Believe me, that's a lot of money. But if you have some money to spend, this is the new one.
And if you're pregnant and you need a slide-on shoe,
Well, that's why I'm living a slide.
exactly. That's why I sent it over. I was like, and also because I have a little baby, it's just so much easier to just slip your foot into a shoe when you need to head out the door.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing, it's hard to put on a shoe when you're holding a baby.
I know. A baby.
A baby.
And I've still been holding on to my Havianas, which I've been told not just by you, but by the world that like we're done.
Well,
What color are your Javianas?
Yeah, it's a metallic.
Tell me it's not a metallic Javiana.
Thank goodness it doesn't have the little jewel.
Wearing it now.
She is. Casey just grabbed my hand when she said that. But at least it's not the one with the diamante.
I don't mean to be nasty, Danielle. I think you always look gorgeous, but I did have to hold Claire's hand under the table when I saw a metallic Javiana coming at me. Well, that explains why you want a gold Birkenstock.
I know. I think I like a metallic.
I think you do too.
I thought gold and silver
Because
was
you come from
staples.
Florida.
I was going to say it's
the
very
Florida in me.
Palm Beach, Florida.
You would have been proud of Casey and I last night, though. Both of us were in stripes, and
What did you wear? What did you guys wear last night?
I wore an Isabel and Oliver maternity dress.
Okay.
It was cute.
Okay.
And
Was that
in
bad?
stripes, blue and white stripes, and I wore a blue and white stripe like shirt. I think it was by just some anything, and then like a high waisted sort of like sailor cut pant.
Oh, cute.
Yeah,
Love that.
and
Nautical
they were
chic.
sort of short.
And her Javianas.
No, I wore
what was the shoe?
It was from Target. Gorgeous Target leather sandal, though. No, I thought they were very classy.
You got no shoes from Target, Danielle.
No, really?
please. Yeah,
Jesus
really.
Christ, okay.
God, and I'd be very surprised if they were real leather. Are you
Oh
sure?
no, they were not.
Yeah,
They were
no.
$15.
We can get a reasonable shoe elsewhere.
Okay.
Everybody, you can buy pajamas, you can buy knickers from Target, you can buy socks from Target. You cannot buy clothes.
Even the Who
from
What Wear
Target.
collection?
Even the Who What Wear collection. It's so poorly made. It's so cheap. It's the kind of fabric that's going to make you sweat and itch. And it really does look cheap. Go to H&M if you want a bargain. Don't
Okay.
or Zara. Don't shop for clothes at Target. That's my public service
Gonna have to throw out
announcement.
a lot of clothing.
7:30 in the
Danielle.
morning in the cubby.
This is
No, and you always look cute. Okay, we have to take a break, and then we're
Okay.
going to come back with Southern Charm. We're back.
Now, something happened in the news this week, real quick. Like Casey sent us the headlines late last night and said, "Guys, the news is here.
It's Huffy, and it's in regards to Southern Charm. So this came out. Thomas Ravenel and Catherine Dennis face off in vicious custody battle, and it is vicious. They're releasing texts from each other. The things he's texting her, he's such a piece of shit.
I hate him so fucking
I love
much.
that this man, and now granted, okay. Now, obviously, I don't condone if she was drinking or doing whatever when she's
No.
pregnant. That's terrible. And I believe she's paying for it. Her kids have been taken from her. But literally, he's texting her all this stuff about like alcohol and drugs. It's like, sir, you were stripped of your job for cocaine publicly. You are not like,
Yeah. He
And
ain't
every
no
time you-
angel.
you're
And
not,
every
as your
time he's
son's
on-
name suggests, a saint.
Right.
And also, like, he's an alcoholic too. Like,
Yeah,
that is
completely.
obvious to me. Talk about someone with like puffy alcohol face. Like, he's completely. Why is she stripped of her child? Why is he not?
Because he has money and he has a last name that resonates in that area. It really is awful. It truly is. She is 24. He is 54. He should know better. He should know better than to have 2 children with a 20-year-old girl.
And it was so sad when she went over there to his house last week, and she's like, "Oh, are the kids in the back?" And he's
Oh
like,
my
"Yeah,
God,
they're
my
having
God.
spaghetti," and she couldn't go back and see them.
Why couldn't she? I realize there's
know.
custody, but even when you have custody, you can let your
I was thinking that too.
the mother see. Like, is there something that I'm
I
not
think
getting?
there are rules that in those types of situations, like you have your days and that's it.
because there was drug and alcohol involved.
I think
or-
so.
And does she need someone there at the time? Like, isn't there like a person that like has to be there, like some sort of like?
I don't know, but she's claiming, it says in documents, that Ravenel has had illegal substances, including
course.
mushrooms and cocaine at his house while the children were under his care. Then he's texting Catherine, "You have no one to blame but the person you're staring at when you're caking on all that makeup."
I saw that.
Low blow to
I mean, we
attack
have-
her highlighter.
I know her contouring.
Granny, her contouring is not ideal, but how dare he?
I know.
But this is the best. Then he writes to her so much, and he tries to write disgusting shit is going to come out on you in court. You'll never work again or see your kids. But instead he writes so much discussing shit is going to come out on you. I'm like, he's so drunk when he wrote
Yes,
that.
exactly. No, the
He's
whole,
a piece of shit.
the whole Southern Charm thing, it's so fun and it's such a great watch, but there is such a dark underbelly. Like Shep is officially losing it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he is clearly, it is going.
He's an alcoholic.
real-
Guys, he
Oh my
missed his
God.
flight because he swallowed
Yeah.
a chicken wing.
It was all, when you saw him stumbling around that motel in the morning, I thought, oh, that's dark.
And even Cameron's face, I've never seen it morphed.
When she was going to have her biscuits and gravy for
Yes.
breakfast, and she was talking to him, and she had the puffy face. Yeah,
You guys, it was beyond a puffy face. It was a morphing into something else. I was like,
Yeah.
these people they drink the sins of their past away.
And Landon was so messy and drunk.
And then poor Danny faints, and Landon's like, "Well, I actually wish y'all go to hospital." Landon just wants to fuck someone and get drunk.
Them all on those scooters, like toiling about Key West drunkenly, like while Danny's fainting.
I mean, that I know. I thought, goodness me, could it not at least one?
Danny
person
doesn't have
go look at
dehydration, right?
Danny?
Danny's
She has a bigger problem. Well, we saw that.
okay. We don't need to.
But I feel bad for Danny because I don't think that Danny really signed up for it. So yeah, let's move on from Danny.
But
But she did.
well, she definitely signed up for it.
What do we think about Danny's fiance?
Yikes! Yoinks!
That
Yoinks!
she met in Patricia's kitchen.
Look, Danny loved
Patty's
Shep,
kitchen.
and Danny trickled down and bumped a couple logs and down the way. And
But the fiance must have a lot of money. That's all I thought when I saw him.
seems to
Get
me
off
he's
that
just
bus.
like I'm sure, just like a teddy bear of a guy.
Yeah, like just a good guy.
Yeah, and Danny's
He's a
like,
good guy.
What was his name? Todd? Was it Todd or Frank?
They're
No,
all
it's-
Todd's their friends.
I think it was Todd. Yeah, it was Todd. But yeah, that whole trip was just like,
Booze
just booze soaked.
booze soaked. I mean, you guys, you're skating past it, but literally, where were the cameras when Shep missed his flight because he claimed he ate a chicken wing that got stuck in his throat, and he couldn't digest a chicken wing because of alcohol? This is not normal.
No, it really isn't. It really isn't.
I mean, I
And
could see it happening to
also-
me, but
I felt very, but we wouldn't be drunk. We'd just be gorging on chicken
No, we'd
wings.
just be eating chicken wings. I myself had 8 or 12 the other evening.
I do enjoy a chicken wing.
I adore one.
But I have to say, I'm always just so nervous. I'm rooting for Catherine's recovery. And when I saw her like go on that trip, I thought, oh no, this is not where this girl should be. She should not be around these people. She should not be exposed to this level of intoxication. And I know you mentioned about when she got ordered that drink.
Yeah,
I mean, I could cry.
I feel like she
talking
needs,
about it.
I know she needs the money, and that's why she's on this show. And of course, like this is.
Don't her parents seem to have money? They have
I
that
thought
gorgeous
they
house.
did, but I think the money's gone.
Yeah.
I think the money's gone. I think they have that estate, like, but it's far out there.
I think
and
it's money, Danielle. I think she's fueled by like this. That's my show, and I was on there, and I'm gonna
there's
tell
some of
my
that.
side of the story.
But you know what? She was 20 when she started doing it. Like, I get it. Like, I get why she might be sucked up into it. Someone like Thomas, who's 54, should know fucking better.
Yeah.
And I think with what I'm seeing on the show is that she was very clean and sober, and she seems great and level-headed. And I'm seeing her give advice to Naomi is
know.
wild, but
It was
fine.
wild.
But can I say it was good advice? And it
Yes,
worked
really
for them.
was.
So
It really was.
But it feels to me, and we do know this, that the testimonials are filmed a couple months after. Yeah. And those testimonials, she'll literally be like, Thomas, I really want us to work things out. And they cut to her and she's like, and he better know he's a demon.
yeah.
Like, it's a tough cut to those testimonials.
I know, because then she's like, I don't know what happened since then. Like, she seemed to be like on the way to healing during this season, and then the testimonials.
But what I love about her is everyone else can kind of pretend like they won't throw it to tilt to show you in their testimonial how they feel about people at present.
Yes.
But she can't do it. She's like, and you know what? Cameron wants to be friends. Fine.
Don't you
what's
think
going to
that
happen with them?
Cameron's rebuilding the friendship?
Oh, fuck Cameron.
I know, it was so phony. She just knows that the public is starting to think she's a real mean girl,
And so she's
being all friendly now.
Yeah, she knows which way the tide is going, and so she's
can't
going
stand
that
her.
way.
Can't stand her.
I do. I still love Cameron. But
don't.
Too?
And I cried when her mom said that little speech about having children.
Actually, I did.
I
about that
did
as well,
too,
but I have
because
just had a
we're
baby.
human beings.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, Cameron's whole like, I don't know if I want to get pregnant, and then I'm gonna do it. Like, it rang fake to me.
I think she should
Or I just don't
bugger
care.
off. That's what I think. I'm sick of Cameron. I don't like her. We never see her husband. I don't think she's stylish. She thinks she's just the prettiest girl. She thinks she's like a guy's girl, and a girl's girl too. Oh, I just can't stand her.
Wow, Claire.
Claire is coming out hard.
You're gonna
As
get some
much
flack
as I
for
hate
that.
Landon.
Oh, Landon's the worst.
Oh God, Landon is just
Landon
so
is-
awful.
Just an emptied out purse.
And then the way that she just like turned on Thomas.
Well, I liked that. Like,
No, but that was
anyone
so
who's-
but
fake,
that was
It was fake,
Danielle.
though. Yeah, no, I hear you.
Because again, she probably felt the same as Cameron. Like, oh, I better start being nice to
Yeah,
Catherine
she
now
saw
because-
everyone saw the tide turning and moved their ship accordingly.
And she felt like there's no way, there's nothing happening with, Thomas and I'm just going to kind of turn
Yeah.
on him.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
Exactly.
Chelsea and Austin.
Yeah.
I like them, you guys.
What?
I do. I
Why?
got a little bit of a jolt when they like finally were like, let's do this. Like, I was like, yes, we're doing it. Like, I felt good about that.
But what was he thinking coming with a girl and then having another woman sit on his lap? And
Because they're not real. I mean, I'm sorry to pull back that.
Someone said they've
that
seen
fourth
him
wall.
since on like Bumble or one of these sites.
right.
So I
They're
don't
not
believe-
real.
They're not real.
not real.
But
and
I still, I started the season being like, this guy, he's annoying. He does nothing for me. And I start.
Yeah, you fancy him now.
And now I fancy him because I'm off of Shep, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. He's filled my Shep hole.
He sure has. He sure has, Claire. He has filled your Shep hole.
Always really fancied Shep.
I heard from a friend of our show that Shep is rarely in Charleston, always haunting SNL's after parties,
Oh.
Yeah.
bopping about the city. Really? Yes, he's moved on to bigger and better cities.
And I bet he's getting laid by like a bunch of girls like, oh my God, it's Shep.
those girls, but not New York girls.
No, I'm talking about like girls that are like, oh my God, it's Shep. You guys, I'm so gonna have sex with Shep, which I've now said, please don't. But
What is that accent, Danielle? It's an English
it's like
person.
Long Island, you know,
what
like,
it is?
and I
Okay.
speak not even Long Island.
Midwest.
Yeah, I don't know what, guys. I just made something up.
She's not like Luann who can do a different accent.
Yeah, I'm. It's just sort of more of a lifestyle than a place.
Okay. Just checking. I honestly.
It's not even Long Island, because God bless the girls in Long Island are much brighter than that. But yeah, it's just something in the middle.
Shep is definitely 3 months away from being fully pear-shaped.
Yeah. He's getting like a
having a
bod.
bottom, like having like a
He's a full-bottomed.
full bottom.
No,
gal.
I think something like he could really go. It could get real bad for Shep. Like his.
It's
life
already gotten bad for Shep.
Yeah.
His face is.
He needs to go to rehab. He needs to quit Southern Charm, and he needs to go get a job.
None of that's going to happen. He is now going to be on Relationship, which I'm sure we'll be previewing here.
Oh, we sure will be.
Guys, what was the Jane Austen shit that Thomas Ravenel is a million? He's writing Landon Jane Austen quotes and another Jane Austen quote. And then Thomas is quoting Gone with the Wind with Catherine.
It was so weird.
He loves a quote, doesn't he, Thomas? He
But I
loves
think
a good
it makes
quote.
him think he's well read.
Yeah,
and
yes,
it's
yes,
like,
yes.
no.
I feel like he's just an all money gentleman.
And he's just like on
Quotes
some
from the old
level,
times.
just like kind of basic. Like it's like, granted, like I love those movies as well and those books, but come on, man.
I want him to go, nobody puts baby in the corner. Or like start quoting Dirty Dancing or something.
He's too old for Dirty Dancing. Like that's
He
not
has a
his
bit of a
generation.
Dennis Quaid vibe to
I
him.
am very attracted to Dennis Quaid.
Me
So
too.
I
Yeah, me too.
like if I could, that man. Dennis
Quaid likes Bravo, doesn't he? Because he's on Watch What Happens Live a couple of times.
Because he has that young wife.
Yeah, he's quite charming with Andy. Like he gets
He's
into
so
it.
charming. He can get it.
Who do you think is the most charming celebrity you've seen on Watch What Happens Live? Because you watch that show a lot.
I do. I watched them yesterday. Yeah, I always enjoy a Jerry O'Connell appearance.
We love him as well.
course.
Friend
I know
of
he's
the show.
a friend of the show because he just is so passionate. And I also enjoy a Michael Rappaport appearance.
Again, friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Yeah, I do like a bit of Watch What Happens Live. I do indulge.
Me too. I love it as well.
Yeah.
Guys, Thomas Ravenel also said this quote about Catherine after they are battling bitterly over their children in custody court. He says, she's got a phenomenal body beyond what the law should allow.
That was, he was, because he was saying, I think I wrote that down too. Oh, he's like, oh, wait, and what did he said about Landon? He goes, I gave her an opportunity to date me. That opportunity will never come again. Like, it was like, I will never go hungry again. Like, it was.
He's such a little drama king.
It was so dramatic. It was so amateur dramatic.
And whenever he stops by JD's and JD's drinking his whiskey at 10 a.m., I think Thomas always has something going on in that coffee cup.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
yeah. He always has that coffee cup. No, but that was so funny
Does
when
Thomas work? Or he's just like managing his assets?
No, he works for the Ravenel property company, doesn't he? Because we saw him in his office this season. Do you not remember when he was all busy?
Claire,
in
they
his
all
office?
have an office.
Yeah, I mean, anyone can have an office.
I know. JD and Elizabeth need to go, by the way. I'm not interested
Did their
in
restaurant
at
just go out of
all.
business? What happened there?
I thought they changed. Did they not change the name? Is that what it is?
I couldn't get
It's now called Gentry.
I don't know what was happening.
But I'm
It's-
bored by them and they can go.
I feel like the
can
producers are like, listen, you guys can stay if you throw a big black tie event at the end. Thank you.
Yes, which you foot the bill for.
And you need to be sort of a go-to for everybody when they're like just the voice of reason in a world where everyone's
And they're like,
wasted.
JD, we know you were, quote, having fun with it last season, but let's take it down a little.
Yeah, like,
just sit there and talk to Thomas. And Elizabeth, a little less out of you. Even though what you're giving is nothing, give us less.
Please, can we just cut her completely? I'd be all right with JD, but when Elizabeth comes on, I'm like, okay.
There was a tough spot that Elizabeth was in at one point where I've had this before, and I think she had this then, where like you get sort of an ingrown zit on your face, and it like takes up half your face.
You know
Has
that
anyone ever had that?
No, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ask June Diane. I have a famous zit that lived on my forehead for like months and months and months. June
Yeah.
Diane and I have a full relationship about this zit.
But you
And so,
moved
like,
forward.
Yeah, it seems
well,
to have disappeared.
I attacked it. It was a scab, and then it came back. Yeah. So it's
But
a
she
whole
had,
thing.
it seems to me, one of those like sort of underground things going on where you can't control them. There's nothing you can do while on vacation. And that was a
was it?
tough
I
spot.
didn't notice
I
that.
noticed because when you've lived it, you know it.
Yeah.
Well, because Elizabeth, and bless her, she doesn't appear to be taking advantage of whatever hair and makeup are allowed for her.
She needs a new look. She needs
So mean.
But
She's
does she?
normal and nice.
But can I say, does she? We don't need her.
I think we
You
just
know.
cut her. I think we just get rid of her.
Yeah, I think she could keep her look, but just not on my watch.
She should just go be a mother and
Keep your look.
Yeah,
yeah,
everything
just
you're
don't be
doing
on
is
TV.
right for you, not for us, but for you.
yeah.
No,
she just doesn't fit in.
She doesn't know what we're doing here, which is watching crazy people be
Right.
drunk.
Yeah,
She doesn't get it.
yeah. It's so true.
And at one point, Landon was like, she doesn't even know what the Bay of Pigs was. Like, fucking Landon,
You are
know
a dumb
anything.
piece of shit.
But
How dare you?
when Landon did her kind of go-to with Bam, and because I don't believe that Landon was really mad at Thomas. I think she was just, you're right, trying to
was
play
playing
to
it.
the court of public, what is it?
Opinion?
Yeah.
But
and
later...
save face because she knew she basically had effed up and was getting dumped.
Yep. And I think she also has a major drinking problem. When she
Yes,
was drinking that red
absolutely.
wine, when she like bobbled and spilled all
Yes.
over her
Yeah.
couch,
Yep.
she goes to Bam, she's like, and I'm just upset like that this man can tell a woman I'm sick of it. And it's like, that's because that is also her dad, who is just like, she's so, I love these women, and this is a real public service announcement, that are angry that their parents have raised them entitled brats.
Yeah.
They're like, men hold women down. It's like, no, sweetie, that's a different situation. You've been given everything. Just accept it and move on with your life.
Right.
And also that second husband of hers, I'm not saying, I don't know, but he is another one that was rich. She married a rich man.
And that's on
And
you.
That's on you. If
Yeah.
that's what you decide to do, if you want to
Sweetie,
be a kept
you don't
person.
work,
Yeah.
and this is why you're going to have these problems with these
also-
men who don't respect you.
That why is she indulging herself in these stupid websites? Why doesn't she start an actual feasible business or go and work?
Because she doesn't
somewhere?
Her dad
skills.
offered her a huge job. I'm like, no.
Well, I watched her on Watch What Happens Live, and she is now working for her father.
Yeah,
she went to Marina
that
Del Rey and got her
sounds
real
a-
estate license.
That
and is
sounds
now working for a
about
company.
right. Now
that's what
she's
she
settling into her sad destiny.
Do you think she's
Where
attractive?
is
No.
Because I oscillate.
the first season I did, and
Yeah.
again, I have said this about myself and I say it about her, we are small-faced women. And so that's, on TV, it's...
she's a lot of, she's all hard, sharp angles.
She is. She has kind of like a nose that's like a slide. I'm always sort of like.
I think we just don't like her, and so it affects
I
the
think
way
she always
way
looks,
she looks, yeah.
she can look very cute on the show, and then the testimonials, we run into some problems.
Okay. All right.
the
She
lighting.
is experimental with her fashion. She loves a statement necklace. She's very Luan.
I actually like her style.
You do?
I think
Oh,
she
no,
looks
no, no,
cute
no.
sometimes.
Well, that's
Yeah.
because you like color and fun.
I do.
I have to physically restrain Casey. When it
I
comes to
know.
color
I
and
mean,
fun.
me and my gold and silver sandals are gonna walk their ass out of here and I'm gonna throw them in the trash on the way out and just be barefoot.
I think there are times Claire would rather me go barefoot than what I was in.
If you've chosen for yourself.
Yes.
Oh, there's one scene real quick where Craig would rather have cheese than oral sex, and
Oh
there's
my God.
nothing more Craig that I've ever heard. Like that's the most Craig thing ever. It's like he wants to sew, he wants his cat, he wants his cheese.
And where did Craig get it in his head that he needs? And I don't mean like he came up with this, but like, did someone tell Craig he needs to mediate because it's so forced?
That was so weird, wasn't it? Can I also say something? I don't know if anybody else has been thinking this. I'm concerned he's getting too thin.
I think he has a pill problem. I mean, these people are
He has
riddled.
a pill problem.
You think so?
I think he's an Adderall head.
No, do you know what I think he could be? Is an opiate person, because that's when they get really, really skinny.
Skinny. And if you notice, his face is always totally red and he has like a cloud over. He's always like, hi. Like he's always
Something's
so
going on with
angry.
him. I think you're right. I think there's pills there. Because he is really, really lost some weight. And he seemed to get over his alcoholism really quickly. He just went and like lived at his parents' house for a summer and then came back. It isn't solved that easily. You often replace one thing with another.
And I do feel bad we've called all of them out
we
for
have
substance
literally
abuse.
said,
But
they're a pill head, heroin addict, like sex fiend.
I mean, they
And
put
I know
themselves
that
out there, you guys.
They were
so.
in Key West, but it does seem all of them are struggling massively
Yeah.
with addiction.
well, they're all drinking.
As do I. Like I put myself in this category. We all.
They're all constantly drinking first thing in the morning. Like that's usually a sign that that life's not great. You know, and not just on vacation. I just mean that like literally they're meeting for like a crawfish breakfast at like 11 a.m.
And there's something that has always been very fishy to me about the Cameron like eating quote unquote bad.
Oh, I know.
Something's not adding up there.
The biscuits and gravy. Where are my biscuits and gravy?
Something's not adding up. And I don't know what it is. And I appreciate if people do the math for me.
What, you think she's... Oh
no, I don't know what's happening, but it's weird.
I think she just does it now and then on TV to seem like a down-home kind of one of the guys' girls.
Yeah.
That's what I
right.
think it
I think you're
probably
right.
is. Because I don't think that Jason would allow her to really have, like, Jason the husband, the doctor husband.
Guys, we must go. I'm going on vacation. You ladies...
You are?
I am.
I didn't know that.
We are off next week for the 4th, I believe.
Yes.
Right? So we will not have an episode next week, but we'll be back the week after. We're going on tour, guys.
We're going to Atlanta, Washington, D.C. We added another show, a matinee.
Yes, in DC. And our guest in DC is...
Amazing.
I'm very excited.
And then we're going to be in Philadelphia and Boston.
Yeah, so I think there's still a few tickets left. So
we have quite a song and dance extravaganza planned.
Oh, yeah. We're going to entertain. Someone stopped Casey last night and it was like, you guys are not getting paid enough to do a Broadway show. And I was like, you're right.
Yeah, I took that to heart. He was like, I love the show. You're not getting paid for Broadway, girl. I was like, yes, he's right. Very nice gentleman.
But you will get a Broadway show. You will receive one.
Well, let's hope.
Off
By the way, your
Broadway.
voice is really good. I love that song last week. You were very, very good.
Isn't
at the
she
live show.
fantastic?
Yeah.
Because that's some hard notes to hit. And
There was a
she
lovely, like,
hit
harmony.
them.
Well, I didn't quite hit them at
Yes, you did. And
Danielle, not so much. Sorry, Danielle.
Claire!
look, I know who I am. You are not saying anything I don't.
Claire! I think Danielle's got a great voice. Have you seen her do I Made It Nice?
You've heard it.
It's a perfect song for you.
Yeah,
I think you
let's write
sound
in my
great.
range.
I disagree
Most
with
of the
that,
time.
Claire.
Okay.
And I've agreed with you on everything.
including my shoe choices. Have really taken a beating this week.
Guys, we have to go, but we also are going to be covering Southern Charms having reunion shows, and they look... What Catherine's wearing is insane.
Oh, I'm excited.
Lady in red.
It's so shocking. It's like she looks like Big Bird with red. It's
I'm
crazy.
thrilled about it.
Me too.
And thank you to our guest. Your insights have been invaluable. Your Tinsley, Dina Lohan comparison alone.
And I'm taking all this to heart, and I'm going to make some changes. Make a change. Oh, I shouldn't sing.
No, I do enjoy it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Clare Mukherjee.
Thank you, April. Thank you, Luz. Thank you, July. Thank you, all of Earwolf.
And thank you guys all so much for listening. This has been so fun.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, people of Earwolf. It is Paul Scheer. I host a show on Earwolf called How Did This Get Made with Jason Mantzoukas and June Diane Raphael, where we watch movies that are so bad, they're actually pretty damn great. I'm talking about Mannequin 2 on the Move.
2.5 billion women in the world, and I'm trying to score with a statue.
I'm talking about Rowdy Roddy Piper and Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Shut your hole!
And of course, I'm talking about Ninja Terminator.
You've got 3 days in which to return the Golden Ninja Warrior, or else you die.
The Ninja Empire is evil.
We sat down this week with Alana Glazer and Abby Jacobson from Broad City to talk about Ninja Terminator live at Clusterfest. Take a listen to How Did This Get Made this week.
Ninja Terminator. Don't miss it.
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Ackerman, Chris Bannon, and Colin Anderson. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.